Okay, so we're on a tour here with Wilson here. He's a good man, going to show us about Jamaica and stuff. Paul, Alberta, away we go. So we'll see what this is all about.
Jamaica was discovered back in 1494 by Christopher Columbus. That is what they have documented. No, that's a fish market there, you see it?
Oh yeah.
Yes. And when Columbus came here, there was a population of 70,000 people.
Wow.
That came from Siberia in Asia. They were called Taínos, or native Indians, just like you have in Canada or America. Yes, so Columbus went back to Spain and convinced the then king and queen Ferdinand and Isabella to grant him money to come back to Jamaica to start sugarcane plantations. He did so successfully and came back in 1553 and started to put the people to work on the plantations. They were prosperous for many, many years. And so they sent back sugar, rum, and molasses to Europe. Now, Britain heard of their prosperity and decided that they would come to Jamaica and try to take control of the plantations. They came on an expedition led by Admiral Penn and General Venables in 1655, and they landed on the northern coast of Jamaica at a place called Discovery Bay, and they fought with the Spaniards. They overpowered them, and so the then governor, the Yasis, and those of his close aides that could have escaped fled to Cuba and Hispaniola. So since 1655, Jamaica has been under British rule. Over the years, there were many bloody revolutions by the slaves trying to get freedom. Jamaica gained independence in 1962, but constitutionally, we are still linked to Great Britain because that is where we have our final court of appeal, and we haven't changed many of the old constitutional laws that we have. Now, as I said, over the years, many bloody revolutions were fought, and the most notable of all those revolutions was held on Tuesday, the 27th of December, 1831, when Samuel Sharp, who was a British Baptist deacon, led the slaves in the hills of Montego Bay at a place called Kensington and started a fight in the middle of the night, which was actually started by a female slave who was shot instantly by the British militia. She said, "I know I shall die for it, but my children shall be free." And so she set fire to the trash house that contained the remnants of the sugar cane they had milled. They would, pile them up after milling them and take it back to the plantation to use as mulch for the upcoming crops. So she lit that trash house, and the fire led to the great house that the slave masters occupied. Many slave masters across Jamaica and their families were brutally murdered, including numerous slaves. 160 plantation houses were burnt. Samuel Sharp, along with 500 other slaves, were rounded up and were tried in April 1832 and executed in the square of downtown Montego Bay.
Wow.
Now I will show you where that execution took place on our way when we go downtown Montego Bay. Now, as I said, when Christopher Columbus came and claimed that he discovered Jamaica, Historically, that was wrongly documented because the people who were here before Columbus came in the 600s. They were here 800 years, close to 700 years prior to Columbus's coming. So how could Christopher Columbus discover somewhere that was already inhabited by 70,000 people?
Oh, history has always been changed.
Yes. So those people were put to work and they were treated very brutally. The men were mutilated, hung, burnt alive. The women were raped. And so over a time, they were close to extinction. It wasn't until a few years ago we learned that they were not all in extinction, but there are existing Taínos here in Jamaica, and we never did learn that until some years ago.
Oh.
So they are still here in Jamaica. There are what you'd call now
Native.
Yeah, they are still here. Their descendants are here, and they have claimed to be true lineage of the original Taínos. Yes, so when I look back on the internet, trace it on Google, yes, I see where they are here, and the government has, agreed to have them form a part of the Jamaica, what you call now, legal, constitutional affairs, where we accept them as indigenous Jamaicans. Yes. Now, one of the great houses that are still intact or was repaired over time is to our right. It is called the Rose Hall Great House, which is a haunted house.
Oh, it's haunted.
Yes. And it was all a part of 6,000 acres of land manned by 2,000 slaves, which was owned by a white witch, as they call her, Annie Palmer.
Oh.
She killed 3 husbands.
Oh.
Now we are unable to take a tour of that property today because it is closed on Sundays. But as we go along here, you see the sign, Rose Hall, Great House of
Oh,
Faith.
yeah.
Oh, you can tour it.
Yes, it's a guided tour that they have there from 9 in the morning until 9 p.m. at night. So the house is up there on the hill. That's the main entrance.
Wow.
That's the house.
Yeah.
Rose Hall Great House. She killed 3 husbands. The first husband that she killed, she stabbed him numerous times, and to ensure that he died, she fried his brain with hot cooking oil.
Oh.
The second one was strangled, and the third one was poisoned. Now, she was born in the UK of British and French parentage. Yes, her parents moved to Haiti with her at the age of 10. Soon after they arrived there, they both contracted yellow fever and died as a result of the yellow fever, because in those days, medicine was not as up to date as it is now, so they didn't get proper treatment, so they died. She was left to be raised by a voodoo priestess that taught her witchcraft. And so she studied that for 8 years, and at the age of 18 she decided that she would travel on from Haiti, and she came to Jamaica, and that's how she met her first husband. Whether by falling in love or bewitching him, nobody knows, but that's how she started and ended up as the owner of this vast plantation. Now, everything that we are going through since we started at the hotel and beyond the hotel on the way to the airport, coming all along here, from the ocean to the left and to the mountains on the right, was a part of her plantation. And I'm going to show you that a portion of the land that was left unattended, because it was so vast, people took it over, and there are now thousands of houses there. They tried to evict them, that's the owners, but the government would have none of it. And so I'll show you, and you'll see where there are thousands of houses that people now, locals now occupy. Open. If you try to forcibly open it and consume it, you will be a goner.
A goner.
Yes, it has toxic gas inside. So you have to allow it to pop open and then you cook it. Some people eat it raw, but it is not nice eating it raw. So we cook it and eat it with codfish. Yes. Yes. There's an open pod right here. I don't know if I can catch it.
Grab it, take it home.
Let me see. I would just like to show you what it is like. Yeah.
It's called a
Aki. A-C-K-E-E.
aki.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So this is the Aki.
Oh.
Yes, and we clean it like this. Pop the seeds off and take this part out and cook it. So that's it.
And it tastes like.
When it's cooked, it looks like scrambled eggs.
Oh.
But you have to flavor it with whatever seasoning you
Yeah.
like. So you know you can flavor it however you want it.
Right.
Yes.
It kind of looks like pear.
Should be relaxing, eh?
I know.
You're like a new man.